Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel, Back to the Feminine, where I motivate and inspire women, especially black women, to make better decisions for themselves and their future generations. So today on episode 10, I want to be precise in my topic, but I feel like this is such a it's such a broad kind of topic. I want to talk about why as women you need to start expecting more for yourself. You need to. And I want to specifically talk to black women in this video. My channel is directed to all women, as I say in the beginning, to all women, but especially black women. This episode, I want to specifically talk to black women because we are shamed into not expecting more from our men, from our communities, from our place of work. We are trained. We are born and bred and raised up to expect less, to tolerate things that other women are told not to tolerate. We are expected to suffer, pretty much suffer and go through the whole struggle love and take the shitty end of the stick, so that we can feel like down the line, oh well, we worked hard for this. I struggled for this. I suffered for this. We're not allowed to expect more, but that's changing. That's changing now. It's changing now. And if it hasn't changed for you yesterday, it needs to change for you today. Today is the day that you expect more. Okay? Expect more. And for those that are new to my channel, I talk about dating. I talk about lifestyle. I talk about femininity. I'm specifically very interested in talking about self-esteem and building up self-esteem for women. And that's why I want women to start expecting more. Why do you resist being given more? That's another thing with black women that I really dislike. Not just black women do it, but you guys already know. I'm talking to you guys. Black women always, especially masculine black women, I should say that masculine black women have such a hard time being the receiver. You constantly give and give and give and give and give, and you were taught that you are supposed to give. You are supposed to constantly tolerate things, and you have to fight for the marriage, and you have to fight for the man, and you have to put up with this and put up with that so that you can be the last one standing, and you have to be the one that takes, the poor end of the stick. Why are we so against, as a collective, why are we so against being the ones that receive more? Like, why is it such a bad thing? And some of you have mothers that give you poor advice. And I'm sorry to say this, but some of you, your moms are the reasons why. They are the reasons why you have had poor experiences in your dating life, because you know what? They did the same thing that they encouraged you to do. Okay, your mother probably saw her mother be a single mom, and so she was a single mom because she saw her mother do it, and her mother probably saw her mother do it, and now she's encouraged you to become a single mom because, oh well, you got to do what you got to do, and I raised you guys by myself, you could do it too. And so now you're here with a baby or two or three or four that you're struggling to raise by yourself because you were told and you were taught that you should not expect more. Some of you guys have been living with a man 5, 10, 20 years, no ring, no wedding certificate, no security, no life insurance, no trust fund, no nothing. And you were told, "Oh girl, why are you stressing about it? At least he's staying with you. At least he lives with you. You have kids with him already. Why are you complaining?" Do you see what I'm trying to say? Are you guys understanding what I'm saying now? We need to expect more. We have to. You know why? Because the Arab women do, the white women do, the Asian, the Chinese women do, the Japanese women do, the Korean women do, and they have no problem telling you that what you're offering isn't enough. They have no problem. And I've seen it firsthand because I I live in a very multicultural city. I live in Canada, by the way. I don't live in the States. I live in Canada. And I live in a very multicultural city, and I see um, women of other races, feminine women of other races. They have no problem letting men that want them know, hey, these are my standards. If you don't reach it, if you can't meet it, then unfortunately we have nothing to do here. I see it happen all the time. And I want to know why, with black women, we are so resistant to expect more. It's time to throw away everything that you've ever known regarding what you should and should not tolerate, because you probably were told to suck it up, tolerate it. Oh, it's because he's young. Oh, whatever excuse. And it's time to start demanding more for yourself. Okay? And it's time to demand and expect more from your partners, from your place of work. If you are working outside of the home, it's time to expect more. It's time to put your foot down for yourself. A lot of black people are very talented. We excel at almost everything we do. Almost everything. Almost everything. But why is it that we are expected to accept less, to do more? I see some black women, they work so hard for their companies, on their jobs. They work double time, over hours. They do the most. And they're afraid to ask for a raise. They're afraid to tell their manager, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be doing Sally's work anymore because I'm not getting paid extra to do Sally's work. You just do it and you stay quiet and you smile because you figure, I'm the black woman. I have to tolerate it because I don't want to lose my job. No, that has to stop. It's time for black women to put their foot down. Okay, in all avenues. Right? And because this is a leveling up channel and, you know, talking about femininity, I'm going to segue now into dating, the dating life, right? So many black women, like, why is it so hard for you to expect more from your men? Why is it so hard? Why do you tolerate and accept being a baby mother? Okay. And I'm going to do another video on baby mamas later, because that's a topic. That's a topic that I can talk about. But the whole baby mama thing, being a baby mother is not a wife. It's not synonymous. It's not the equivalent. It is nothing. Okay? Being a baby mother just means that you had a baby with a man that is not your husband, probably didn't even view you as wife material, and now you have his child. Now you are carrying on his legacy, but you are not being compensated for it. Okay? Some of you won't even put your baby fathers on child support because you're afraid. Afraid of what? Oh, I don't want to be the bitter baby mother. So you're going to be the struggling baby mother. Is that what we're doing? You need to expect more. Expect more. It's not a crime to say, hey, yeah, I need to be married before I have kids. It's not a crime. Nobody's going to hurt you. Nobody's gonna be mad at you. I mean, Dusties will be mad, but we don't care about them, right? Because I see in other cultures and other races, having children out of wedlock is still very embarrassing. It's very shameful. It's very embarrassing. It's very shameful. It's something that is looked down upon. But for some reason in the black community, where the percentage of black single mothers is over 75%, that's huge, guys. That's huge. You can go do some research yourself. Don't take my word for it. Go and do your own research. Over 75%, if I can remember correctly, over 75% of black women are single mothers, and only 25 to 30% of black women ever get married. Do you see the problem? Do you see the issue there? And the thing is, too, a lot of you feel like that's a badge of honor to be a baby mother. And then, oh, if you're the first baby mother, oh my gosh, you feel even better. I'm his first baby mom. Even though he has 8 kids by 8 different women, I'm the first one. So I have a special place. And it's sad. It's just sad. It's so sad because it's like, why can't you expect more? Right? And if you have an issue with why you should expect more, please go watch my episode 8 and episode 9 where I talk about self-esteem. You need some self-esteem. Go and work on your self-esteem. Right? You already know I'm blunt, I'm direct. Go and get yourself together. That's why you're afraid to ask for more. That's why you're afraid to expect more from your partner, from your work, from your family, from your friends. That's why you don't have self-esteem. Right? There's no way a man could come and tell me that he wants me to have his kids and he hasn't signed any certificate. We're not married. I'm sorry. That does not excite me. I don't know why it excites some of you. That doesn't get me all excited. And the celebrities that you're seeing that are baby mothers, these black women that have kids by all these rappers and things like that, these drug dealers, what you're also not seeing or not cluing into is that these rappers have multiple kids with multiple women. And you see this whole thing with the baby. Now he's having a second child allegedly with another woman, and his baby mother, who probably thought that she was the equivalent of the wife, she thought that she had something solidified. Now she is just his baby mother with no compensation. Now he might be paying her bills, yes. He might be, giving her some money, yes. Obviously, he's a millionaire, but that's not the point. The point is that there is weight in a marriage certificate. If you think people that say, "Oh, marriage is just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper." They are uneducated on the value and the significance of that piece of paper. Okay? Anytime someone tells you, "Oh, having a baby out of wedlock isn't that big of a deal. Marriage is just a piece of paper." They're the same ones that are so quick to go to the courthouse to try to get that piece of paper for child support when their baby fathers want to walk out on them. They're so quick to go and get that piece of paper. Why are you running to get that piece of paper? You should have went and got a marriage certificate. You should have got that piece of paper. Why didn't you want that one first? But you're going to settle for the child support. Fill this out, put your name here, put your address here, put your phone number. You're going to settle for that. But you couldn't go and get yourself a marriage certificate. You see the backwardsness that I'm talking about? And, other race of women, when they date black men, right? Non-black women, when they date black men, you see how quickly some black men will get themselves in line. They will get themselves in check because that woman is not going to tolerate what you tolerated. I've seen it. I see it repeated all the time. I see it constantly. Black men, they will provide. They will do everything. They will take care of her children from another relationship. They will do everything because her standards are higher. She expects more from him because she believes that she's the prize. Most women that are not black, that date black men, it's normally like a, oh, I know I'm the prize in his eyes type of thing. So I'm going to make sure I get what I want. And that's what they do. Right? But black women, you guys are afraid. You're embarrassed. You're ashamed. You were taught by your mother. You were taught by your grandmother. Oh, be a submissive wife. The Bible says da 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 da. Oh, you have to be his helpmate. Don't complain. Let him do what he wants. Don't demand so much. Throw all of that out the window. Throw all of it out the window and don't even waste your time trying to reason with people that have that mentality. You are supposed to, as a woman, part of your leveling up self-esteem building journey, because that's what I like to call it. I don't like to call it the level up. I like to call it the self-esteem building journey. Part of that journey is expecting more for yourself, expecting a better lifestyle for yourself. Okay? If your parents were never educated, and let's say they came to North America because they wanted a better life or something like that, most of the time they push you to get an education, right? Because they expect more for you as your parents, right? Mothers that are good mothers, proper mothers with common sense, if they had children out of wedlock, if they struggled, if they had to live off of the system to feed their children, the good ones will tell their daughters and encourage their daughters, hey, get an education, get married first before you have kids. Do not have children outside of wedlock. Make sure a man wants you as his wife before you claim yourself as his baby mother. That's what a proper mother would tell you, right? Because she expects more for you, right? But unfortunately, now you got grown women that are making these horrible decisions for themselves, black or not. And when you tell them, hey, you need to expect more for themselves, they actually get offended. I've had some women get offended when you tell them, why would you tolerate that? Why do you tolerate that? Because they get offended because when you say something like that, it makes them realize how low their self-esteem is. It makes them realize how poorly they treat themselves. It makes them realize that they don't expect anything, right? Expect more. Expect more. Even if you have a partner, you have a husband, right? Valentine's Day just passed. And some of you didn't even get a gift. Some of you guys didn't even get flowers. $5 flowers, you didn't even get it. And you're cool with that because, we've been married for 10 years and, I don't expect him to do that anymore. That's the problem. That is a problem. That's a problem. You should always expect your partner to treat you, to spoil you, to value you. You could get flowers for $5. He couldn't even spend $5 to get you some flowers on Valentine's Day. And you're going to sit there and say, oh, I didn't really expect him to. Well, you should have expected him to. Shoot, I expected my brother to get me flowers because that's just how I am. I do a lot. I do a lot for the family. I do a lot. And you know what? My self-esteem is at the point where I feel like, yeah, I want flowers. Yeah, I do. And he went and got me flowers. Right? It's the little things, right? It's the little things. Expect more from your family members too. Don't let people mistreat you and abuse you and use you in the name of, oh, well, we relatives or we're blood. We're blood. I'm not blood, okay? I might as well damn near be a Crip because I'm not dealing with that with you. I don't condone gangs or gang affiliation. But that's my point. That's my point. You need to expect more from your relationships. You need to expect more from your partners. You need to expect more from, I apologize for the phone in the background. You need to expect more for yourself. I had cut the audio off to get out that ringing, but you guys see where I'm going with this. Expect more for yourself. Expect more for your life. Expect more for your children. If you're older and if you have made decisions that you are regretting or decisions that you realize now that they were not the wisest ones, you can still make a change and you can still expect more for yourself. You can still expect more for your future generations. And that's why I say that in the beginning of my videos, because unfortunately, a lot of people do not consider their future generations, right? The Chinese people do. They really do. They really, all they care about is the next generation. They work their butts off so that the next generation can sit pretty, and they start businesses so that their children can have a better life. And they do things like that. Other races do things like that. And I'm noticing now that, black people, we're catching on. We're starting to learn more about investments and learning about real estate and learning about how to manage our money better and learning how to build up our families and our communities. And that's great. That's great. And that's the whole point. A lot of us, we don't think about the next generation. We don't think about our children. We don't think about anybody else when we're making decisions that we're making, when we're making, whether they're poor decisions or good decisions. We don't think about them, right? It's only until at the end, when everything is said and done, we sit down and we're like, oh man, I really messed up the first, I really messed up in my 20s, you know, and you don't think about how it's going to affect your children, how it's going to affect, um, your children's children. You don't think about that, right? And that's all I wanted to really talk about. I just want people to make better decisions for themselves. I just want people to, um, try to think more about what they tolerate from people, what they expect from people, and stop letting society, stop letting other people, stop letting your parents, your grandparents, whoever, your friends, stop letting people tell you, oh, you're expecting too much, or you shouldn't expect that, or you shouldn't ask for more. Why can't you want more for yourself? Why can't you want better for your life? Right? That's kind of like a crabs in a what is it? Crabs in a bucket, crabs in a barrel mentality. Why is that a thing? If you want better for your life, if you want better for your future, um, why do you let people shame you into accepting less? Right? I see this a lot too with religious folk, you know, and they'll tell the woman to tolerate this and put up with that, and da 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 da. And, you got to be meek and humble. You got to stand by him. You got to do this. You got to do that. And the second you decide you want better for yourself, they demonize you, and they call you this, and they call you Jezebel, and they say all kinds of things just because you developed a little bit of self-esteem and you're ready to go on with yourself, with your life. Don't let people do that to you. Don't let people do that to you at all. If you have friends in your life that tell you, oh girl, you should just settle for this. You should just, I don't know why you trying to, why you trying to get all it. No, 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 no. Don't you ever, because they probably want you to stay in the same boat as them, because that's where they are. So they don't want you to pass them, right? Unfortunately, some of your mothers are your worst enemies, and you guys don't even know that. They're so jealous of you. They're so jealous of you because you haven't made the same mistakes that they have made. So they envy you, and they would do anything to see you, their daughter, in the same predicament as them. It sounds crazy, but it's the truth, right? That's why I'm so passionate about this. I want you guys to expect more for yourself, expect more for your life, especially in your partners and who you date. Do not tolerate things that if it was flipped around, they wouldn't tolerate it for you, right? I see prime example of that. I see so many beautiful young single childless women going off and trying to mess around and deal with men that have 5 and 6 kids by 5 and 6 baby mothers, and they feel like, oh well, I've won. How did you win, baby girl? What did you win? If he has 5 and 6 kids by 5 and 6 women, and here you are, young, beautiful, and childless, why are you going into that pond? Why are you doing that to yourself? Why don't you expect more? Why don't you go and find yourself a man that's childless as well, and can offer you everything, and offer the children that you have together everything? Why? And you'll have some people really tell women that do that kind of stuff, oh well, yeah, you might be the 7th baby mama, but he love you. He actually love you. I'm sure he loved the other ones too. Anyway, you guys get my point. You get what I'm saying. You understand me. If you don't understand me, watch the video again and try to take in more so what I'm saying. Some of you guys might be upset at what I'm telling you because I'm forcing you to look within. I'm forcing you to check yourself. I'm forcing you to see what you've done wrong in your life, and so you might be upset, which is fine because it's part of the self-esteem building journey, right? Exactly. But thank you guys for watching my podcast. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share it as well. Send it to your young nieces and your daughters and whoever, to get people to realize that it's okay to expect more for yourself and expect more out of life. See you guys in my next video.